The avocado. We all know it, we all love it. It's pretty much the poster child for superfoods, right? That creamy green goodness packed with healthy fats and all sorts of nutrients. But what if I told you that the way most of us eat them is, well, not just wrong, but potentially dangerous? Let's get into it, because a few simple mistakes could be turning this superfood into a serious health risk.
I mean, think about it. Doctors praise them, social media is obsessed with them, and they're in everything from our toast in the morning to our salads at lunch. They're basically held up as this perfect, flawless food, especially for those of us trying to stay healthy as we get older.
But here's where the story takes a turn. A bunch of new studies are starting to pull back the curtain on this beloved fruit. And what they're finding is that some really common habits, things you and I are probably doing without a second thought, can flip the script, turning this health hero into a bit of a villain, especially if you're over 60. And this number right here, this is at the heart of the issue. A 2023 study found that just by mishandling an avocado, you can crank up the amount of harmful oxidized fats by over 187%, and that's in just a few hours. These are the exact kinds of fats that are linked to things like hardening arteries. Yikes.
So today, we're gonna break down the most common mistakes that can lead to some pretty surprising dangers. And you're gonna wanna stick around because the last mistake on our list is one that almost nobody ever thinks about.
Let's kick things off right where most of these problems start, our own kitchens. These are those little, seemingly innocent things we do when we're storing and prepping our avocados.
You've heard this one, right? Leave the pit in to keep the avocado from browning. It's kitchen wisdom passed down for ages. But get this, in 2019, researchers at the University of California actually tested it. And the reality? The pit only kept the tiny little spot it was touching green. The rest of it? It browned just as fast. So yeah, that whole hack, it pretty much does nothing.
So what actually works? It's way simpler. Just brush a little lemon or lime juice on the cut part and pop it into an airtight container in the fridge. But, and this is super important, a 2021 FDA study gave a serious warning. After 2 days, nasty bacteria like listeria can start to grow. The bottom line, don't let it sit around. Eat it quick. All right, mistake number 5, eating unripe avocados. Come on, we've all been there. You're desperate for avocado toast, but the only one you have is hard as a rock, so you use it anyway. Well, that can seriously mess with your stomach, leading to what one gastroenterologist has dubbed avocado gut. We're talking intense bloating, cramps, the whole unpleasant package. So why does that happen? It turns out unripe avocados are loaded with a natural toxin called persin. And a study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry discovered that an unripe avocado can have 3.7 times more of this stuff than a ripe one. So you're not just dealing with a bad taste, you're actually giving yourself a dose of something that can make you feel really sick. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about how this seemingly harmless fruit can clash with your body and even your medications in ways you would never, ever expect. Listen to this story from the American Journal of Emergency Medicine. It's a real wake-up call. There was a 68-year-old man stable on the blood thinner warfarin. He decided to get healthy and started eating an avocado every single day. In just 2 weeks, his medication basically stopped working effectively. And then, a week later, he had a minor stroke. The culprit? All that vitamin K in the avocados was working against his life-saving medicine. As Dr. Robert Chen from Mount Sinai puts it, the dosage for blood thinners is tailored specifically to your usual diet. So if you suddenly flood your system with a ton of vitamin K from avocados, you're throwing that whole delicate balance out of whack. The key isn't to stop eating avocados, but to be consistent, and most importantly, talk to your doctor about it. Now, this next one is gonna sound wild, but it's so important. For some people, a simple bite of guacamole could be a trip to the emergency room. A huge study found that more than half, 53%, of people with a latex allergy also have a reaction to avocados. It's a really shocking link that most people have no idea about. So what on earth is going on? Well, it's a thing called latex fruit syndrome, and basically your immune system gets confused. The proteins in an avocado look so much like the proteins in latex that your body freaks out and thinks it's being attacked. This can trigger an allergic reaction that ranges from a simple itchy mouth all the way to life-threatening anaphylactic shock. All right, we're on to our final set of mistakes, and honestly, these might be the most common ones out there, thanks in large part to stuff we see online. These are the dangerous ways people are actually eating avocados. You've probably scrolled past a video like this. Some influencer is grinding up an avocado seed and putting it in a smoothie, calling it a hidden gem of nutrition. They'll tell you the seed has more antioxidants than the fruit itself. But let's be real, just because a trend goes viral doesn't mean it's safe. And here's the scary reality check. One gastroenterologist at a major hospital had to perform 7 emergency surgeries in just 2 years. Every single one was on a patient who had eaten ground-up avocado seeds. Those sharp little fragments just don't break down, and they can actually puncture your intestines, which can lead to deadly sepsis. And now we've come to it. The #1 mistake, the big one that can undo all the amazing health benefits of an avocado. It's something millions of us do every day. We cook them. Grilling, frying, throwing them in a hot stir-fry, all of it can turn this superfood into a real problem. Here's the simple science. Those amazing healthy fats in avocados, they're really delicate. They have a super low smoke point, only 270 degrees Fahrenheit. The moment you go past that temperature, those good fats start to break down and release all sorts of harmful compounds. It's a process called lipid peroxidation. And it's not just the fats that take a hit. The heat just decimates the vitamins. A study in the journal Food Chemistry found that frying avocado slices for just 5 minutes wiped out nearly 90% of their vitamin C. You are literally cooking away all the good stuff you're trying to get. But here's the real kicker. When avocados get browned from high heat, they can create a chemical called acrylamide. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same stuff found in burnt toast that's classified as a probable human carcinogen. You're taking this incredible superfood and potentially turning it into something dangerous. Okay, I know. After all of that, you might be a little hesitant to even look at an avocado again. But please don't be. This is still an incredibly beneficial food. You just have to know how to handle it the right way. So let's quickly recap how to enjoy them safely. Here's your go-to checklist. Number 1, always use ripe avocados. 2, if you're on blood thinners, just be consistent with how much you eat and have a chat with your doctor. 3, got a latex allergy? Steer clear of avocados completely. 4, I think you're clear on this one. Never, ever eat the seed. And finally, the big one. Add avocado to your food after it's cooked. Let the heat from the dish warm it up gently. Don't put it directly on the heat. Look, this superfood is amazing, but it has a delicate side, and we have to respect its chemistry. So now that you've seen the science, what's the one thing that's going to change for you? Are you going to stop throwing it in the frying pan? Or maybe be more careful about how you store your leftovers? Just think about it, because that one little change could make all the difference.